Hey, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the Brown Gent. Got some big updates for you today, as well as some potential claims depending on how involved you are with certain assets or protocols. So without ado, let's get into it. But before we do, just remember, nothing I say is financial advice. I'm just a guy on YouTube. Please do your own research. And while you're at it, make sure you hit the like button, share the video, follow me both on Twitter, where I am live streaming from as well as subscribe on YouTube. Help me bump these numbers up. Don't worry, I did not get rugged. I've just been doing a bunch of trading, buying NFTs and such. Those in the Web3 Secret Society know exactly what's going on. Speaking of which, you can join that. Links down below to both my services. As of today, the price for the Web3 Secret Society has gone up. Also, you can schedule a private video call to make sure that you have a personal curated plan for the bull run. Now, with that being said, as the stream went live, as I was putting this stream together about an hour ago, the price of Ethereum was reaching almost 2,800. The price of Sol was almost 205. We are starting to pull back. This is not a surprise. Remember, we still are in that mode where we have to fill likely the liquidation wick that happened on February 3rd. We're going to have liquidation bounces. These are your opportunities to sell things you buy on the dip and then buy them back again on the dip. So one of the things that I've been doing, maybe I'll show it on screen here, is I have been using Backpack Exchange to basically, like you can see here, sell Sol at 204. And I have a buy order sitting here at 191. This thing is incredible. This is how you make a ton of money during the chop. I talked about this yesterday in the AMA. This is my trading position. I have a bunch of different Sol that I'm holding on to, but this way, when it's chopping, as you can see here, once this trade for 70 Sol at 191 goes through, I'll have a remaining balance of 936, which is the amount of profit that I made by arbitraging right here. Definitely something you want to consider. I will be making a video about Backpack Exchange and why I'm using that very soon. Now, a couple things I want to talk about. We'll start with some sad news. So I don't really know this person, but I hate seeing people get scammed. In fact, somebody who watches our streams regularly mentioned to me yesterday that they got scammed because they fell for a Discord fake moderator who got them to run a command on their computer. You guys have got to be very careful. A lot of people are out there. Crypto is very valuable. It's so hard to get back. It's basically impossible. And people take this opportunity to scam and steal and cheat people, right? You've got so many different traps you got to avoid. In this case, what happened to Benefactor was now people are creating these fake Discord bots because everyone's using Discord bots to verify like NFTs and such. You've got to be very careful. A lot of times, you'll go into a Discord and they'll say, hey, if you've got a certain NFT or a collection or whatever, like, some tokens like Pengu, it will give you a role. But some sketchy projects will basically have a fake bot in there, get you to connect your wallet so they can drain you. And this unfortunately happened to Benefactor. So lost a bunch of Sol, lost his Suzuki, his final Bosu, which I imagine he just got, tons of assets. But please use this as a learning opportunity. There are ways to help isolate this. Number one, not having all your assets on one wallet, having sort of a bank wallet, which I've talked about in the past, where you only have stuff you hold, you don't interact with other things. And then when it comes to interacting on Discord and whatever, make sure that you're very careful on what you sort of connect to your wallets. And one of the ways you can get around this is you can create a note under some of the most popular Discord wallets like Matrica and whatever, and you can type in a note, and that way whenever you go into Discord, before you do anything, you can verify this is the right bot before you go to the website. A lot of people do this stuff on autopilot, and that's where these scammers, these thieves get away with it. Like, honestly, I would want the death penalty for people, the scammers. Like I think they're the worst of the worst. But sorry to hear this happened to this guy. Unfortunately, this is a common occurrence. It's going to happen even more as crypto starts, getting more mainstream, and crypto values keep going up and up and up. Now, I want to do a quick summary of Wink. So Wink was a pre-sale that was available a couple days ago. Earlier in February, you had to fill in some form. Maybe it wasn't even February, like late January. You had to fill in a form to basically apply for the privilege of getting it. Most people I talked to had zero chance of getting it, because they were very strict. They basically wanted to make sure that they didn't have JEETs, right? Like they had a question, like, are you going to hold on to your allocation? Well, this is a parody post, but basically what they did, which I think is really smart, is they wanted to prevent people from sniping their token. So they made an announcement ahead of time. They said, basically, do not buy anything before we tweet it. You will lose your money. Crime, crime, crime. Don't try to be a sniping tug. Despite that, all these people, right, they get greedy. This is an Avalanche token. They went on, saw the contract address, saw, this is potentially it. So they started aping in tons of money. This person put in $50,000. Hello, whether or not you told people to buy or not, you just rugged me 2,000 AVAX, more or less. Come on, bro, refund the people you rugged. That ain't right. Yeah, because these people are the ones who come in here and try to ruin projects, right? They come in here, try to be sneaky, try to get a bunch of supply, and then dump when a project launches. And that way the project gets a really bad name, and that way all the investors get screwed. And what they did, which I think was incredibly smart, they launched a bunch of fake tokens. They used their wallet, and they said, hey, don't try to buy anything before you tweet it. They basically trap people into giving them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and they lost it. Like, look, you didn't eat enough with the pre-sale funds. Curious to see what happens next. You try to be smarter than us, you lost. Cry. I love seeing this. Is it normal to remove liquidity 9 times? What's going to happen with the rug liquidity? Send the AVAX back and stop rugging. Stop sniping. I'm not a sniper. I only tracked wallets. The snipers got the real token. Like, these people literally are like pathetic. These are the people who literally, like, I love that they didn't like hide who they were, because these are the people who are basically ruining all the other projects. So they got it really hard, right? Basically, they got so much, like they got a lot of funds from these people. People are going to call them defrauding. It'd be nice to see them reward the Wink holders with these funds. They don't have to, obviously. But hey, you played a game and you lost and you try to steal and cheat. I love seeing that. I love seeing that snipers and ruggers and people who come in here who try to extract from the space got their comeuppance. Now, for those of you who aren't sure what Wink is, and you probably heard about it on the timeline, this has been a sort of millionaire maker token that just launched a couple of days ago. Like I said, pre-sale allocation. For example, this person over here said they had a privilege of being the pre-sale. There was one of 2 allocations. They said $245, and now it's $23,000. And that was yesterday. Now that amount, I think, is like $60K, right? The bigger amounts, like, it's insane. Like, you take a look at, some of the people who got some big allocations who said they wouldn't sell. One person fumbles $4 million, $3 million, 2.6. So many people lied, obviously, because that's what people do when money is involved. And, basically they have this sort of wall of fumbling, the fumbling section on the Keith board. So it is pretty crazy. Like, so this happened to Keith. There's also that for Wink. But because of that, maybe I'll just say this, you're going to see a lot more things on the timeline trying to convince you. This is why I'm bringing this up. You will see a lot of things in the timeline saying, hey, this is the next pre-sale, it's the next 100x. No, these are scams. These are scams. Going to basically take what happened with Wink and what happened with Ket and basically try to trick you into buying on Avalanche to throw your money away. Be very careful. Do not just blindly ape. This is like the basic copycat thing we always see, right? If you saw broccoli and the 300 or 500 different tokens that came out yesterday, or how like when CAR came out, right, from Africa, that MIM token, they started creating even more tokens from every other country, all these fake ones, right? Obviously, because people have no originality. So what do they try to do? Oh, Wink and Ket did well. Let's go to Avalanche and let's launch some fake pre-sales and steal money. Be very careful. I'm warning you right here. May it pay off? Maybe, but I play probabilities, and the chance you get paid out going forward is very astronomically low. One thing I want to remind you guys is, we claimed the Soul Layer airdrop a couple of days ago. I posted this on Twitter. I didn't mention this on YouTube because I wasn't aware of it at the time. But basically, every other day, you can go in and claim more of your airdrop. So more of your airdrop gets vested. And because the price of Layer will approach zero if we give it enough time, you don't want to just wait until July 18th to claim your full remaining allocation. Go in there, claim the 30 or so Layer token. I mean, I say 30, that's for me. Claim whatever portion of Layer token that is. Like if it is a substantial amount, I guess. For me, that's $23 every 2 or 3 days, probably 2 days. So I would just do that. From my experience doing this with the Stride airdrop, with Portal and stuff, these drip claims, they get less and less and less and less. So if you wait, you're going to get a lot less money than you will today. Speaking of which, because you can trade that stuff on Jupiter, Jupiter did an update planetary call. The first thing, most importantly, we finally got our active staking reward. So that happened yesterday. Go on, check your active staking rewards. You get this if you stake Jupiter token and you participate in governance. So the last period was 4 votes. So depending on how many votes you did, the voting power times the number of votes, you will basically get an allocation of stake Jupiter, where when you claim, it gets added to your Jupiter stack. It takes about 30 days to unstake if you want. And then you get the bridge token. The bridge is basically worthless. So be it. Like I said, these airdrops are asymptotic towards zero, still free money. And obviously, this is dependent on how much you have staked. It's around 10 to 12% on your Jupiter. So that's not bad for every ASR. Other couple things I want to sort of say here is, let's look at this one. You won't hear the audio if I play it. But basically, for those of you who have applied for Good Cats, they had like 40,000 or so applications, I think, maybe 28,000. I don't remember. They've tried to whitelist it or bring it down to between 4,000 and 8,000. It's not just influencers, it's anyone who sort of helps build up the space. So that's pretty cool. Another thing here that Where Meow and the team was talking about is potentially locking up this 280 million Jupiter that Where Meow has, which is incredibly bullish, which is why we see the Jupiter token go up, right? So that's awesome. Great news. Next update, guys. I know I talk about Kaito so much, but please, you are fading the wrong thing. And they announced today that they're going to launch a token. I told you guys this yesterday. I said it's going to come. I didn't think it was going to come this soon. But basically, we have this attention economy being monetized, which obviously that's what every project wants to do. These guys aren't here to be volunteers. These guys are here to tokenize and bring value to their seed investors. So pretty good news. We talk about Kaito a bunch. One thing I will say is apparently, I cannot confirm this. I didn't see this on Kaito's side, but I've heard from many people now that you don't need any sort of requirements to join Kaito. So I have a referral link if you want to join and get started on trying to earn Yaps. Might as well do it. Might as well get a piece of that pie. I will include the links to the sort of thread in the white paper for you to check out. Obviously, all this is done, and I think this is done obviously to earn Yaps, but a lot of people are posting what they think Yaps are worth. I've seen numbers all the way from $50 all the way to like a couple hundred. I think what really will matter when it comes to how much each Yap will be worth is when is the snapshot taken? That's the first thing, because there's 25,000 Yaps that get added to the distribution every single day. On top of that, you also have to figure out how much is being airdropped of the number of tokens, right? Like how much is going to TGE like through the airdrop. So Yaps versus the NFT versus everything else. And then finally, where do we expect it to launch, right? 1.5 billion valuation. What's the FDV, right? What's the diluted value? So I think when all said and done, Yaps will likely, if we do this the next like month or so, they'll likely be worth around 40 to $50. I think a lot of people are just out there saying 100, 200 because these guys are moon boys. They're also the same people who probably would have told you Bitcoin is going to 1 million last cycle. So you just got to be very careful and ask yourself what the source is. Now, many of you, if you do have Yaps, make sure you're voting. One of the really cool things is the Genesis NFT allows you to vote. So if you have a Genesis NFT, you get 116,000 votes. This is very important. I'm going to explain why in a second. So let me introduce Yap Trade. I've talked about this before. Yap Trade solves the problem that we had in monetizing our Yap. So beyond just the TGE, how do we sell our voting power, right? Because when you have Kaito Connect, you have projects that definitely want to basically earn their leaderboards because this is incredible marketing opportunity, right? You see, Mitosis is sitting here with 4 million, but in the lead with 21 million is Skate. So you have a DAO like Yap Trade, which basically has a lot of people in there, and they basically get deals to say, hey, how many votes do you want to buy? They allocate the dollar per vote. So usually, I believe the rate is like $1.25 for 100 votes, which is 1 Yap. And if you put that in perspective, and this is for the week, right? That means that every NFT will make you on average every week, if you get into a deal, maybe like 13 to 1400 bucks alone. I think that's pretty insane, right? When you think the NFT is like 24,000 or something like that, it's gone up obviously, but good to know. Yap Trade is also doing their token launch. So they're doing a public sale and a whitelist. I did join the public sale. I'll include this tweet if you want to check it out. You have to send ETH, USDC, or USDT on any EVM chain to this wallet address before Saturday. I sent $1,000 in. I know one of the influencers who do it, 3LI. It's fine. Like I use their service, and I'll do that. I also have submitted my Yap Trade contributions for the whitelist potentially. So I'm just going to be very on the up and up about all this, just to let you guys know. Okay. Now, as projects move to using Yap, right? Like as people use Kaito to reward, you're going to have people who just don't like that, right? People say, oh my God. And I call these people whiny bitches. Testers should be rewarded more than Yappers. Why? Do you think, like, people like to overestimate how much they do. Testers aren't really the ones who are beta testing products. If you think that people launched testnets and they didn't have a core team of professionals testing, then you're out of your mind. What they do is they want to find a user base when projects came out. So what they did was they're like, all right, let's give it to regular community to actually see how they like it. They're not actually testing. This is like if we were looking at phase 3 trials, that's what it is. You're not looking at phase 1 or phase 2 to actually see if this works. Like you're looking at phase 3 and probably phase 4, actually, if I think about it. Phase 3 is like, in a scientific trial to see if it works, efficacious, right? So in this case, these people like to overestimate exactly what they do. Oh yeah, do we test your product? We sacrifice our time. Yeah, okay. Dude, we ensure network stability. Like these people, like honestly, I do not understand. Like all they do is complain. They just whine. So I made a tweet. Basically, people are frustrated that projects are prioritizing yappers over testers. But let's be real here. You guys know this. The people to blame are not the projects. The people to blame are the airdrop farmers who made Sybil farms, right? People who have 100 computers, hundreds of wallets out there doing all of that stuff, simulating it. They're already stealing from the rest of the community. And they come out and they brag about like how much they made and everything. And it makes it impossible for projects to figure out who's a genuine user and who's part of a Sybil farm, which is why they started moving to KYC last year. And what did these people do? Oh my God, my privacy. Oh. And guess what? Then they're like, okay, fine. No KYC. Provide liquidity. Oh, whales win. It's just like you can't win. All they do is complain. They don't want to actually do anything. They want things to be easy. I heard somebody say they got to roll up their sleeves. Why does a project have to roll up their sleeves? They're doing you a favor by giving you free money. If you're going to be ungrateful, if you're going to be entitled, you don't deserve anything, right? And let's be honest here. what matters more? Mind share, being able to talk about a project, being able to be there marketing. That is just a way better, fair approach. There is literally no like whale that can win there, because you want genuine content, genuine insights. And yes, do people who have an established brand have an edge? Of course. But guess what? You can go out there and do the same thing. The way Kaito works is, I'm sure you've seen it. There are accounts with 100,000 followers who've got like almost no yaps or zero yaps. And there are accounts with like 100 or 200 followers that have like 4-figure yaps. So if you want to blame someone, blame it on the farmers who ruined it with their greed. Don't blame it on the projects. This is just common knowledge, I would have to say. And with Kaito, here's an example. They just launched a post-TGE leaderboard with Polkadot, and Polkadot is going to be using their treasury to reward big yappers. So Polkadot, as you guys probably remember, last year we were talking about how they were spending all this money on Artiser and a bunch of those threaders for no reason, right? They've spent a lot of money on marketing, but now they can use Kaito. And like, I thought this post by Will Mocha is pretty good, right? Protocols have hired creators in the past as ambassadors to increase visibility. Polkadot spent millions of dollars on that every year. Now Polkadot and Kaito are setting an interesting example of what the future can look like. They pay out monthly rewards to the best creators based on mindshare on Kaito's Polkadot leaderboard, 100K monthly. That means your best creators can earn 5 to 15K, and it's done based on merit, real engagement, and impact. Whereas before, it was just big accounts with the most name recognition, even though their following is dead and they're completely useless. I thought this was a very good post. Now, that being said, when we see things like this happen, when the TGE happened, I posted on Twitter, I believe the price of the NFT was around like 8 ETH. And I said, hey, the price of these NFTs are going to skyrocket. So I started bridging. I eventually had to buy it at 9 Ethereum. The floor is almost 10 ETH, right? Not surprised. I still think these are undervalued because of what I told you earlier, which is just like, if you can make it $1,300 every single week, if these have incredible voting power and people want to corner the market on this, like the founder of Kaito has said, he's working for the NFT holders. So it's very important. Now, for those of you, just to remind you guys, December 21st, I posted, how come no one is talking about this insane NFT mint opportunity? You'll hear about it from your KOL influencers in a few days. This was the Kaito NFT. If you take a look below, the NFT is Kaito NFT. Mint phase, right? This is like during mint phase 1, right? Mint phase 2 is open to most people. And that's where it minted out. But you can see over here, you have people basically saying like, I'm like, if you can get it, it's the fastest 30x you can do. What's the eligibility criteria? Blah, 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 blah. But you can see other people just going, hey, what is this? Now everyone knows, right? Like, what is it and all that stuff. Like, it's so important. Like, I'm telling you guys, it is something that people were sleeping on. And as usual, a lot of people who post on Twitter don't have your best interest at heart. Why? Because they don't want to tell you about the opportunity until it's done. And then they go, guys, look what I call, look what I call, look at all this stuff. They just want to take the opportunity. They don't want it to be a fair game. So be it. Now, I have an update on Magic Internet Money, which there was some drama here. But they did an airdrop phase 1 where you could get an MIM rune, and it was given to Bitcoin Wizardry, BTC Ordinal, Node Mux, Bitcoin Puppets, On-Chain Monkey, whatever. Basically, 2 phases, and they were basically trying to get projects to work with them, right? So they had this rune ticker. So what did I do? Well, I'm the fastest JEET in the West, so I dumped it right away. I got like a couple $100 for mine. I got like 3 of them. 3 allocations because I had 3 puppets. And basically because of it, so yeeted it. But if you can see here, the price is actually completely tanked. And the reason it's tanked recently is Bitcoin Wizardry came out. They made an announcement on Discord. Maven's bot no longer has access to the Magic Net Money account. So you can unfollow this basically. So let's unfollow it. Bitcoin Wizardry is the only Magic Internet Money Bitcoin Wizard account from now on. So the ordinal or rune that was airdrop is not related to the collection, so it completely tanked. But there are still some people buying it. So if you got it, just get rid of it. Like you probably get like 20, 30 bucks for it, okay? It'll be in your wallet, no need to do a claim. Another update for you guys is on OpenSea. So after that debacle we had a couple days ago, they came back and said, surprise, surprise, we're going to do some things differently. We're going to have historical OpenSea usage count, not just recent activity. We're going to make sure that US users are welcome, which when do you ever see that? I never see those three words together. It's probably like US users, sorry, more like it. The claim process will be simple and accessible. So hopefully that means we don't have to jump through any stupid apps. And they're focused on long-term sustainability and supporting a healthy, enduring community. No details on timing yet, but when we get that, I will share that with you. There is an OS or OpenSea version 2 that's launched if you want to check it out. I mentioned this on the AMA yesterday, but Doodle is going to launch their token as well. Another useless token that we do not need, but hey, so be it. Basically, it's on-chain, and it's likely going to work the same way that the anime token and Pengu did. So what does that mean? I will be shorting Dude whenever it launches. So I'm just waiting for any perpetual place to launch it because we know how these things go. It's literally like that. Now, the Doodle announcement saw an immediate pump to around 4.8 ETH, but it's been selling off ever since. Why? Because once again, people just want to take profits. We're in a market where people are scared. Fear is still taking a hold, and we haven't gotten back to the levels in crypto for people to feel confident. And for Ethereum, that is around the 3,200, 3,300 mark. A couple updates here. So there's an AI agent, which they call it the smartest airdrop of 2025. Basically, you want to train the AI agent, and they're having a campaign sort of like this called a cult, and you can earn some rewards during Act 1. So make sure if you're interested, you join it. I provided my link down below. You train the AI and you earn IQ points. Another update I have is on ethereal. So they had their season 0 launch yesterday. So early deposits are now open. I joined yesterday. I didn't put that much in. I only put in a couple $100, but you go on ethereal, you have to use the Ethereum mainnet. Right now, gas fees are very low, but you'll need Athena USD. So USDE. And the way to do that, because it's very simple, is you got to deposit. Once you pre-deposit, this is a perpetual DEX on Athena network. And you just go to Jumper Exchange, and Jumper Exchange on Ethereum mainnet, you can swap Ethereum or USDC or whatever for USDE. So that's pretty much all that it is. Let's see what's going on here. We got GUI bots, fam, smash the likes. Hey, how's it going? Smash the like buttons, guys. Get those up. Haitian Buffet. Good morning, market looking decent. Hit the likes. Hope OpenSea decent cook. Yeah, I hope so too. Canadian flag and a thumbs up. Always a Canadian flag and a thumbs up for Andrew Cameron. Nice. Consistent. Backpack seems interesting. Oh, I think it's incredible. I think if you have a Mad Lads, the fees are insanely good, right? Like I think it was like 0.02% fees, like insane. Hey LA, hey FUD Zero. I've had my Sonic on beats for 2 weeks, but it did not say show claimable incentives or amount stake. That's weird. I can see mine. Are you seeing that on the bank? Make sure you have the right wallet connected. I can only see the stake tokens that go unstake. That's weird. Are you seeing that on the bank or what? Claimed almost 500 JUP tokens. Congratulations. I'm afraid if we keep going this way, all the airdrops will be bad. Yeah, but that's just what it is. LA, here's the problem. Let me tell you why. It was one thing to have an airdrop when you had few tokens, but people commoditize these, just like meme coins. How many meme coins do we have? Millions of tokens have been created in the last 365 days. How is there going to be enough liquidity to support these things? This is what happens when you have greed. You have greedy people on Pump.Fund, which now has the mobile app. I don't want to talk about that because I hate Pump.Fund. Then you also have greedy teams. You have infinite blockchains, right? Like, oh, it's Story Protocol, Monad, Inisha, Mega ETH, like Bear. Like, how many blockchains do we need to launch every 5 seconds? What do? Short those. Get the airdrop, sell them, short the chain. Very profitable. Same thing with the airdrops. I literally get the airdrop, short it. Why? Because it's going to go down. People just do not want to hold these tokens. And let's be honest here, the projects are only launching these tokens because there are some suckers who want to be exit liquidity for them, right? They have a valuation, they get it way cheaper, right? These VCs and such. So when these tokens launch, they've already 10x, 50x their money. And then if people want to keep buying, fantastic for the ones that invest. I personally think that airdrops are cooked, and not cooked, but like Holding an airdrop is a really bad idea unless the protocol is insane. The reason why Hyperliquid appreciated, because it was the best airdrop that happened. It was community, like it was given to 100% community based on usage, right? And not just that, but you had to actually, like, you have a platform that people want to speculate on, and there's an actual use case for Hyperliquid. What's the use case for Layer? What is the use case for all of these tokens? There is none. 13.15 yaps. Yeah, that's awesome. Let's go. 8 smart followers. 17 smart followers. Yeah, but the smart followers mean nothing. Yap talks about consistency. So Pat, you need to consistently make good content. And that's determined by Kaito. Look at their leaderboard. Look at what they care about. Talk about those topics. You can also respond to people talk about those topics. Any thoughts on Venice AI? No. I think I dumped that. Why does that sound familiar? Venice AI. I feel like I dumped that on base a while ago. S&P looks like it's a double top. If it sells off, yeah, it could. I've been buying Costco stock, so that'll do well if S&P does bad. Jupiter's one of the best decks. Yeah, Jupiter's fantastic. Metal. How many times have you guys heard me say that I think Jupiter's the best team in this entire space? Yeah. Post insightful stuff about projects in the Kaito leaderboard. Exactly what it said. Perfect. Dude, looks like your move to Dubai did not do well. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, man, my move to Dubai did not do well. If you have any idea what happened to my net worth since I came here, you're crazy to think that. I don't care if the market's been bleeding. You have no idea how much money I'm making on the side, buying, selling, shorting, doing stuff. If you can only trade one direction in the market, big loss. Feels like you're not doing too well, buddy. And for AIs, I don't care. It'll recover. Portfolio. What? A portfolio. Is there a DEX tracker like the bank or Sonar Watch for Eclipse? I thought Sonar Watch is for Eclipse. No? To be honest, for now, I made up my mind. Yeah, just dump. Alay, how many times have I told you guys to just dump the airdrop? Here is my heuristic for it. This is what I tell in all my coaching calls. People come to me and say, hey, I have this airdrop. I go, why? Oh, it's free money. Or, oh, who cares? I was given it. It doesn't matter. I asked them this one simple question. If you had that money in cash, would you buy this token? I have yet to hear the answer yes. I have yet to hear the yes answer to that. Okay? So when I ask that question, what do? They sell because they realize they wouldn't have bought otherwise. Do I think IP is not that great? I think IP is trash. I sold my entire airdrop and bridged it off. Have you sold anything? Yeah, of course. No, Magnus, what I've been doing is I have been moving funds around. I moved like $70,000 or $80,000 to Backpack Exchange. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, Magnus, you have no idea what you're talking about. If you got a pocket watch, do it properly. Why don't you actually go and see the transactions and see what's happening with the funds? Like, when I buy an NFT, guess what? It reduces the value, bro. Okay? In portfolio on Beats. Yeah, so I would just look on the bank. I have no idea otherwise. Where to put Sol now that Sol Layer is done? Watch my video on how to 20x your portfolio, that one hidden thing. I like community finance. You guys already know my lend borrow strategy. That's what I'm doing. I'm also using Sol to buy and sell on Backpack Exchange. You'll see a video on that very, very soon. What will I start farming today with the most potential? Same stuff. Focus. Right now on a dip, the lend borrow strategy is the best thing you can do. It's going to give you the best return. Look, I'm making a couple $1,000 every single day doing this stuff. Okay. And otherwise from that, Eclipse. Kaito's not really farming. Kaito's Twitter. Do Eclipse though. Magnus, you can't say good for me. You can't say good for me when you come in here and say bullshit. Okay? You can't come and go, like, let me just go here and you either are autistic, you are on the spectrum, like you say this stuff and you go good for me. Bro, I don't care what you think. You just come here and say stupid stuff. Like stuff that's easily, like, you can see it. I share my debank with you and just, that's one wallet. Okay? Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't be like Magnus. Try to actually focus on growing your wealth. And until next time, I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Until next time, thanks for watching.